guess, you know what, better late than never when it comes to making this video. I needed a little bit of time for my anger and disdain towards the absolutely just abysmal cosmetic updates we got in 2021. I needed my anger to subside from that a little bit before I felt like I could come into this and like properly review these war paints. So it wasn't completely from a place of anger, and more so from, you know, actually trying to give some form of decent criticism, however harsh it will be. So buckle up, we're gonna go through all of the war paints in the Scream Fortress 13 collection, the only war paint collection we got this year. Thank God, because if we got a winter collection this year, I feel like it would have just been more of this. We're gonna go in proper order. We're gonna go all the way from mercenary grade up to elite grade, and I'll just give you my thoughts on each one and probably give it some kind of a rating. I don't, is it worth putting shit into tier lists anymore? A, B, C, D, dick, balls, cock and fart, whatever appropriate adjective I can give it. You'll probably hear it at some point. Okay, first up we have Sarsaparilla Sprayed. You know what? Right off the bat, I don't really like this one, mainly because it employs the same gimmick that a lot of other war paints use, where it's just a whole bunch of random images, or stickers as I like to call them, just slapped over a pretty much a solid texture. There's a subtle gradient on this one going from orange to brown, so I guess that helps it a little bit, you know, and then we have like, you know, a pretty flat gray and a flat, you know, dark gray, almost black as secondary and tertiary colors. So right off the bat, not a really big fan of this one, but the colors are good. The colors fit the game's art style and the palette pretty well. The cartoony style of the stickers fits the game's, I guess it fits the game style somewhat. The grit, not so much there. And you know what? Color-wise, it doesn't look terrible on weapons. It's not the worst sticker war paint we have in the game. The worst sticker war paints are the ones where you have gridded stickers in like a simple repeating pattern, like Quack Canvassed or Croc Dusted or Polar Surprised or the copy clone of Polar Surprise, where they just have the same stickers gridded in like a 3x3 or a 4x4 pattern. Those are the ugliest because you end up having a lot of empty spaces in between the stickers. This one's decent enough because the stickers are kind of randomly oriented and fill out that empty space, and that helps it a lot. And also, if I remember correctly, something really neat about this particular war paint is, oh yeah, two things. It was made in 2017, so Valve went all the way back to an item added to the workshop that was made in 2017, and what's really cool is this guy hand drew all of the individual mercenaries, so I have to give huge props to the guy for putting forth the effort to like actually make original artwork for war paints, which is frankly something we don't see a lot of these days on the workshop. So who's this guy? Who made this? Who are you? Phil. Phil, thank you for making this. Like, I really appreciate the effort you put into this one. I mean, overall, I'm just gonna give it kind of a mid-tier. Like, we'll just say C. We'll say C tier on this one. The colors are good. I'm just never been a big fan of the stickers. It gets a pass. When it comes to sticker war paints, this is probably the best one that we've ever received in the game. I will give you that title. Best one we've received so far. Kiln and Conquer. I know what this one looks like by heart at this point because I consider this war paint to be one of the best, if not the best, that we've received in the game at this point. This war paint is absolutely perfect for the game. It has that heated metal, you know, the heated tiles, kind of reminiscent of the uranium war paint where you have like the radioactive green coming out from behind the bricks, and then you have this kind of repeating skull, like, furnace pattern. It just looks really clean. It looks so good on multiple, oh man, it just looks so good, you know. It's not offensive to the eyes at all of the colors fit in the game so well. It's not overly detailed and busy. It has like just enough glow and saturation, like have those like heat accents and almost really pop out at you, man. It is really, really good. And what's neat about this one is even at higher wears, it doesn't look terrible. This is battle scarred, and it still looks really good, mainly because it has a wear where it doesn't reveal a lot of like the base weapon model color underneath it to make it look terrible. Tomislav is pretty bad no matter what you put on it, but this one definitely gets a pass from me, especially like on the higher wears. It is really good. It's a simple design, but man, it's just super good. I love this war paint so much. It even looks good on the brass beast. You know you've achieved something good if you can make a war paint still look nice on the brass beast in battle scarred, because no war paints look good on the brass beast in battle scarred. 10 out of 10 territory for me. Like, I even had to get it for a detonator because I just think this war paint looks absolutely amazing. It fits so well. Any loadout you make, it looks good on any weapon model. Very few war paints look good on any weapon model. this guy has done something very good with this war paint. Easy 10 out of 10, easy A tier, absolutely amazing. What do you look like, Searing Souls? Oh, yeah, this one. Awful, awful war paint. Fucking terrible. I hate it. This one is everything a sticker war paint shouldn't be. It uses what I like is, you know, the randomly oriented stickers to help kind of balance out the empty space, but there's just so much empty space in the background where all of the colors are too similar, where it's just super empty and spaced out. The skull looks like a piece of cheap clip art that I know for a fact this guy probably did not hand draw. That was just slapped all over the war paint, and then two effectively solid colors. All of the colors are a little too saturated and don't look that good. Solid black is a no-no. Overly saturated colors are a no-no. They contrast too heavily with TF2's art or TF2's color palette and just do not belong in the game. And the red and blue variant just do absolutely nothing for me. They're too similar. I feel like they could have done something with blue fire to make it a much more distinguished blue variant, but these are just almost exactly the fucking same. It's not the worst sticker war paint. You can still get some decent looking weapons, I guess, but I just despise how lazy this is. It's terribly cheaply drawn fire over a simple gradient, solid black with kind of like this blotchiness, which doesn't help it that much. It kind of gives off the effect of like stone, perhaps obsidian, brimstone, whatever you want to call it. D or E tier territory. It just doesn't look good. And I know for, yeah, this one also looks absolutely terrible at higher wears. It looks like shit. You could have done a lot better. You could have like hand-drawn different skulls. You could have had some variation in the flames to give it more detail on this one, but all you opted to do was just repeat the same piece of art over and over again on top of a gradient. And you could have done a lot better on this one. I think you could have done a lot better. More different types of skull stickers that you hand drew, a bit of variation in the flame. You could have made something a lot better here, but it was just a lazily, very hastily slapped together war paint. And also, it looks like I see like pixelation around the edge of the skull. Hold on, let me investigate that. 5, 7, there you are. Oh, yeah, Jesus. You can see, like, you have this nice bit of crusty pixelation all the way around the edge, which looks absolutely horrendous. And it looks like you have some cracks going on. What's with this crack? Hang on a minute. Hold on. Keep a mental note on what I'm seeing here with these cracks. You could have put in a little bit more effort to make it not look so crusty around the edges of these stickers. It looks really bad when you have like this nice smooth fire. But man, yeah, I can already tell that this was not a hand-drawn skull based on how crusty it looks around the edges. And you have like these weird bits here. It looks like he slapped some filters on top of an existing image, which gave it these lighter bits here and this kind of pixelation around the edges. Yeah, that's just... no, lazily slapped together, not good. D, E tier. You could have done better. You could have done a lot better. Next up is Potent Poison. I don't remember what this one looks like. Oh god. Well, just by looking at this is probably one of the worst war paints we've ever received in the game. Just right off the bat, nothing but solid purples. We have solid black. It's just, oops, all purple. We already have Portal Plastered, which executes this kind of war paint far better, where you have a you have a non-flat black texture. It's made to look like stone. You have enough detail in the purple pattern to like make it not look too flat, but then you go over to Potent Poison and whoa, it's way more saturated. You have solid black, you have crusty bubbles, and you have like this weird, ugly, rare green one, which does absolutely nothing. It's a distraction. It looks absolutely horrendous. You can tell this was pretty much slapped together very quickly. Solid black, same bubble sticker, horrific spacing on this. You get a lot of empty space. You could have just get rid of the bubble. You didn't need the fucking bubbles. You could have just the solid black would have looked just fine. But no, you had to put the bubbles on there. I don't know why. The bubbles, I guess, against the purple water poison, which basically just looks like the liquid acid sticky bomb launcher with some random bone stickers. Just, no, this looks horrible. I can only assume it looks terrible at higher wear. Yeah, looks awful at higher wear. I mean, if you're, this is probably trader main bait. If you get this war paint with isotope on it, hold on, let's just see what that looks like. Oh yeah, that is 100% trader main bait. Overly saturated purple with a nice green color to contrast that. Yep, this is, you go into a trade plaza server, you're gonna see guys holding this kind of a weapon. Absolutely disgusting. This is not a good war paint. The colors are way too saturated. The random stickers do nothing. It's too busy with the bubbles, and it's just enough spacing on that flat black to where it just looks absolutely hot. It's awful. It's an awful war paint. Probably one of the worst ever been added to the game. I don't like it. You could have put in a little bit of effort to, you know, make that water texture. You could have tweaked the saturation a bit to not make it so in your face. The stickers in the water do absolutely nothing. You could have put like stickers or skulls, or not, sorry, like bones or skulls or bubbles on like a secondary texture. Maybe you could have just made this like a bone texture in general against like purple. That would help it not be so dark and saturated. But man, this is just not, this is not good. This is D, low D, E tier territory. It's just, nope, bad. Simple Spirits. Come on, Josh, where's SI? There you are, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this one doesn't do it for me. This is another example of just your simple, lazy sticker war paint. Solid gray, solid orange, more solid gray, with the same simple ghost sticker repeated over and over again in 3 different colors. It is just about as lazy and bottom of the barrel as you can get. The only saving grace that this war paint has is the color palette, because gray and orange just fit TF2 incredibly well, because they're effectively neutral and can work well on both red and blue team, and the colors map decently well to most weapon models. It's not the worst, but man, this is just really fucking lazy. This is something that I could have made in about 3.5 minutes, maybe even faster, because now I know how to actually like draw. Oh look, we have the rare sticker. We have the rare sticker, guys. Look, he's got the sunglasses on him. Oh look, it's a rare pattern. Oh! Don't fucking do that. I'm so fucking tired of this shit, man. No one cares about these shitty rare stickers. No, it's just random eyesores that are slapped onto your warpaint to kind of like drive up appeal to make up for a lack of a meaningful and creative composition. It's fucking lazy. You could have put in a little bit more effort to make a more appealing and visually pleasing, I guess, warpaint, for lack of better words I can pull out of my ass right now. Instead of just going, fuck it, put some fucking sunglasses on a ghost, that's good enough, it'll make them like it enough, I'll just fucking unbox this shit anyway. No, come on. Put forth a little bit of effort, man. I can at least assume that these ghosts are hand-drawn. It doesn't feel clip-arty to me. This is like D tier. It's not E tier only because of the color palette. They could have muted the orange a little bit, because looking at it on a couple of weapon models, it's a little bit in your face, but oh, no. I'm so tired of these shitty, lame sticker war paints where they try to like do that lame sticker gimmick like, oh yeah, this makes up for it. This makes it for my lack of effort right here. Come on, you can do better. You can do better. Come on. Now we have Skull Cracked. Skull Cracked. Nope. Hang on a minute. Nope. 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 That's a big nope from me. You know why? Hold on a minute. Because that background texture is an existing texture file in the game. You can use existing texture files in the game, I won't fault you for it, but all it looks like he did was he inverted the crack texture on it. Yep, it looks like he only inverted the crack texture and adjusted the saturation on that one. So this is an existing file that he basically just tweaked the colors of and called it a day. And that is not a hand-drawn skull, ladies and gentlemen. That is not a hand-drawn skull. Skull PNG. I can probably find it right now. Man, 5 seconds on Google, ladies and gentlemen, have yielded the sticker he used on this war paint. And I can tell just by looking at it, this is the one he used, but that's probably not going to be good enough for you, so let me just whip out Illustrator for you. Oh god, and just looking at this now, yeah, looking at this now, this is the same skull texture used in Searing Souls. This is made by the same guy, wasn't it? Yeah, he did. Wow, shocker. He used the exact same skull from Searing Souls on Skull Cracked, and it looks like that cracked pattern on Searing Souls is this same pattern, except with a gradient slapped onto it and some colors adjusted. Fantastic. And it looks like he slapped some filters on top of this skull sticker, but again, let me prove it to you. It's good tea. Bring you in here, get a new layer, slap you on there, embed that shit, drop the opacity to like 40, shrink that down. Like, I don't even have to start rotating it for me to know this is the same shit. Oh man, you could have at least tried. You could have at least tried, dude. Wow. That is... It's like... Oh, like, that's just insulting, honestly. That is really insulting. It's insulting to people who put forth the time and effort to make good war paints, or just good items in general for the workshop. For you to just go to Google, save a piece of clip art that you find, probably royalty-free, I don't know, and then just slap a filter on it over an existing texture in the game, call it a day, and then you're just laughing all the way to the fucking bank because you got your fucking paycheck. Meanwhile, war paints like this are placed on the same pedestal as those that take hours to make with original artwork, original designs, all original textures, thoughtful color balance, thoughtful design, and these motherfuckers get away with it. I cannot believe yet another war paint with ripped Googled clip art made it into the game. We have multiple war paints like this now. You've got to be fucking kidding. That's two. Two from the same guy that used the same piece of Googled clip art on Searing Souls and Skullcracked. Oh, come on. Come on. Like, listen, I made that video talking about, like, the horrific winter update, and people were mad at me for blaming the workshop for bad items. This is the shit I'm talking about. You can put forth just a little bit of fucking effort to make something that is of high quality and good for the game. You can put forth a little bit of effort to make something that's fully original and not just recycle ideas that you find that are already on the workshop, or just so you don't have to pull shit off of Google. Come on! You guys can do better! This is the shit I'm talking about! And yet people get mad at me for putting some of the blame on the workshop and not all the blame on Valve. Like, oh, Valve's the one who ultimately picks the items and puts them in the game, and while that's true, the front line for what gets put in the game is the workshop, because they're the ones that make the items. And if Valve is not gonna uphold themselves to a higher quality standard, then we should do that. The creators should do that. They should make sure that they adhere to some kind of reasonable guidelines to make sure we don't get shit like this. For fuck's sake! It's exhausting, and it makes me so- I'm like beyond mad. I'm just disappointed, right? Because this shit is next to the work of professional level artists whose work never gets in the game. It's just completely overlooked for crap like this. And these guys get their fucking paychecks, and they get paid a lot of money for this crap, man. I know a guy, I'm not gonna say who. I know a guy who's made a few war paints for the game, and that addition of a couple war paints has made him about 5 figures. That's a lot of fucking money for just 2 items being put in the game in a war paint case. That's nuts. And this guy made about 5 figures from these 2 piss lazy, minimal effort war paints. Try harder. Because, God, and what sucks too, it's like we're completely out of, it's totally out of our hands, right? We, the consumers of this game, we, the players of this game, have basically no say in what gets added anymore, because apparently upvotes on Workshop don't fucking matter. And what we're left with is, like, we're the ones that have to deal with this crap that's just plopped on our lap, right? We get this shit. We have to deal with it. It's our respect. This is what we get. It's what's shoveled out to us. And the only ones that benefit are Valve because they get paid, and the workshoppers because they get paid, and we get jack shit. Fuck off with this. Ugh. Okay, I am a little bit mad. I am a little bit upset. I'm a little fucking peeved. Stop this. God, you are a lazy motherfucker. It's fucking pathetic. Do better. I can say do better until Kingdom fucking come. God. It's like talking to a fucking brick wall because they're never gonna do shit. They're just gonna keep doing this because they know they have why try harder syndrome. They have why try harder syndrome. Why try harder to make something that is befitting of the game, that is reflective of, like, the mercenaries' personalities? Why try harder to make something that belongs when I can just go, oh, I can just take an existing idea or something that someone else already made and call it my own work and call it a fucking day? And they get paid just the same. God, I have better work ethic than these motherfuckers. Ugh, it makes me so mad. Christ, and I don't even get paid for my work. Like, just for, like, yeah, sure, that's just comparing himself to workshoppers. I will compare myself to workshoppers. Because people say, oh, why don't you make a fucking item? I don't, I make videos, right? I put about 40 hours of work into the intro of my latest video. And I didn't receive a dime. Because that video got demonetized, because I care about my work. I'm not in it for the money. You can tell these motherfuckers are in it for the money. That's all I have to say. Another example of just a shitty, piss-lazy war paint that does not deserve to be put in this game. I'm not even gonna give it a rating, because it uses stolen art that's passed off as his own, and he's getting paid for it. Royalty-free or otherwise. Don't do this. Don't fucking take Googled clip art and slap it on a texture. Bottom of the barrel. Bullshit, lazy, stop this. Necromanced Warpaint. We're going to our first commando grade. Yeah, this one. Okay, you know what? I like the concept of this one. I just feel like its execution fell short. In that this tertiary pattern with this, I guess you can call it a pentagram thing with these random like runes kind of spaced around it, it wasn't done well enough. It's gridded. These circles are gridded. It's a simple gridded repeating texture, and what that results in is a lot of empty space, and it looks really bad. These runes look bad. They look almost cut off, like, and they're not complete. I don't know. It's a lot of empty space. I feel like they could have done something to give this tertiary pattern a little bit more detail so it doesn't feel so discombobulated and kind of like, it's not claustrophobic, but it's like, it's also not busy. I can't find the adjective to describe how this feels. It's just not, it's chunky. I guess chunky is the word I'm looking for. It doesn't quite work. But I do like the custom eyeball sticker. I do like the color scheme. The red and blue variant are basically identical given all the different random seeds you can get, but it looks good. You know what? It gets a pass from me. Overall, in terms of the color scheme, I like the custom sticker. The eyeball looks really cool. This one also has a custom wear to where it looks like the leather on the book is a lot more beat up. This is the first time in years that we've received war paints with custom wear. I don't know why Valve decided to add war paints with custom wares this time around. Maybe that means we're gonna get more in the future. I hope that's the case because custom wares add a lot to war paints to make them not look like shit at higher wares. So that's nice to see. This is middle of the road for me. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's like a C tier. C, maybe like a low B tier. I do like it. It's good. Like, some thought went into this one. I do appreciate that. Okay, next up is Polter-Guised. Okay, so I'm a little bit split on this one. This is another one of those war paints where I can't help but like it because it looks really cool, and I know I have shit taste. People will get mad at me for having shit taste, but I like this one a lot, even though it kind of violates some of the main rules for making items for TF2, the big one being the colors are way too saturated. But man, I really like how this one looks. I love this one, and what's more is this one's orientation locked. I love orientation locked war paints. So they call it Polter-Guised, but it looks more like fire, and it's like flaming ghosts, and ooh, it gives off this really kick-ass hot rod visual appeal to it, and I really like that. The colors look really good too. I love the color scheme, and what's neat about this is, even though they're really saturated, they're just dark enough to where they're not really in your face and super gaudy. It's just right on that line between being too much and just right. It's almost in the too much territory. They could have maybe toned it down a little bit, just a little bit. I can't give this one an A tier for that reason alone, but I really like how this one looks because this one to me is just a better Hell Driver. Another instance of an orientation locked war paint, but I like this one because it reminds me of, you know, the monster truck Gravedigger, and I'm a big fan of monster trucks, and as I was a kid, my dad would take me to monster truck rallies a lot. It was a lot of fun. I'd always like Gravedigger as my favorite one, so this is a bit of a nostalgic appeal to me. But it's this bright in your face neon green, which just has no business being in the game. But then we get something like Polter-Guised, which is just, it fits a lot better because it's team colored. The colors look like they belong a little bit more. Again, a little overly saturated. It's just enough detailed before it gets into like the super busy territory. It's got that shine. Oh, it's like the highest in B tier you can get before you get to A. Neon-Ween, I hate this one with a burning passion. This is just another example of everything you shouldn't do for a war paint. Overly saturated colors, simple gridded sticker pattern with flat black, which is just too saturated, too heavily contrasting colors on the main texture, which just makes things pop way too much, way too in your face. It's just color vomit dumped onto a war paint, and it looks horrible and doesn't belong in the game at all. None of this belongs in the game. And it's only remotely Halloween themed because it has random Halloween stickers. There are pumpkins and bats and gravestones and oh look, it's the monoculus, and all of the appeal in this war paint only comes from the in-your-face eye-grabbing colors. No thoughtful design went into this whatsoever. It's simple clip art, spirals, star crosses, I guess. Like, I guess those are meant to be like twinkles or something. And then this weird alien skull being repeated on the secondary texture. I don't know why they went with that. They could have used like a real skull, not like a funky alien one. But it's just all of the appeal has been thrust into just the bright colors, no thoughtful design into a texture whatsoever to make something befitting of the game. It's just, again, another example of these really lazy bottom of the barrel war paints that catch people's eyes and like, oh, I have to upvote it because of the colors, man. That's all it's there for you. It's just the fucking colors. It's lazy, it's shitty, I hate it, doesn't belong in the game. D tier, maybe E tier. I fucking hate this war paint. Terrible. Next up is Swashbuckled. This one is just, oh man, oh baby, thank you, God. This is another old Warpaint. I think this Warpaint was added several years ago, and Valve went back to this one and decided to put it in the game for whatever reason. I don't exactly know why. Man, this one is just, oh, it's simple, it's clean, it looks good on every single weapon you put it on. It's just, oh, it's that nice brushed metal, that nice wood, very reminiscent of the older decorated weapons from the gunmetal and tough break updates. Only one thing that I absolutely despise about this Warpaint, and I wish they did not add this, it's these ugly green barnacles that just break all of the lovely, seamless, well-designed continuity. You have these fucking ugly eyesores on this Warpaint. Please don't. I understand it's meant to be like barnacles on like a pirate ship and whatnot, but oh God, you didn't need these, man. Just get rid of them. Get rid of them, and this would have been probably like the second best Warpaint in the game next to something like Damascus Mahogany. This is like upper A tier. Would have been S tier if they had just not put the ugly fucking barnacles on this, dude. Oh! Oh, but it looks so good. Yeah, Void made this one. Void is immensely talented. This guy's made some insane Warpaints for the game that I wish more of his work gets added in the future. Again, they went back to fucking 2018 for this one. It's just really good. That's a really good Warpaint. Valve, please add more shit like this and less stuff like Skullcracked. I don't know why you don't just put stuff like this in the game, dude. It's right there. It's right in your face, man. Come on. Come on! Broken Bones. Oh yeah, this one. God, this one's just unfortunate. I like it for one reason. It's meant to be an X-ray. I like the concept. It's cute. Execution, fucking abysmal. I remember being in a Discord server with the creator who made this Warpaint, and I think he said he made it in like a few hours or like a really short period of time. And it makes me wonder if he had put in a little bit more effort into this, like if he put a little bit more effort into this Warpaint, how much better would it be? Because we got this, right? It could have been a lot better, in my opinion. You could have done like a blue variant, or sorry, a red variant where it's not this, you know, teal blue, but more like a washed out yellow, which would have looked more appropriate on the red team, because this Warpaint does not look like it belongs in the red team. It really fucks with team recognition immensely, because you see a big, bright, neon blue minigun that's being held by a red heavy. It's like, oh shit, what team is this? And your brain can't process that fast enough, and then you're fucking dead. So I think this is one of those Warpaints that's very much deserving of a red variant, you know, much like how Electroshocked has that yellow variant for the red side. Something similar could have been done here, and that would have been a lot better. I like the concept. I hate the fact that it's just more random stickers slapped over a solid black texture, but I guess it gets the pass because that's effectively what an X-ray looks like, and if you're doing like a cartoony X-ray, this is basically what you'd think of, so it gets a pass from me in that regard, but could have done better. This is like C tier for me. It needs work. It needed a little bit more work to make it like just that much better, and I guarantee if you had spent more time on it, man, you would have made something better. Ugh, hate this one. Again, why do people keep doing this? Why don't they decide to come up with like some unique, thoughtful design and instead just get some stickers and vomit some neon colors on them and then call it a day? You could, this is, no. The colors don't belong in the game at all. They violate every part of TF2's aesthetic. You have this immensely claustrophobic sticker pattern with these horrific colors. The blue side, really? Purple and green? You could have done like blue and green or like blue and purple, but purple and green? I'm just thinking of the Hulk. Again, lazy design, poor execution, really solid black, solid oversaturated black. It's just too much. It's way too busy. This could have been toned down in 101 different ways. Again, trader main bait, because those guys love their neon colors. They see this shit, it's like, oh man, this is easily gonna be 5,000 keys if I sell it to the right boy. It looks so bad. Oh my God, it looks like a Nerf toy. Look at that. Look how shiny and flat that is compared to this. You could have done something with this black texture. Instead, it's just flat black. It's like an untextured weapon model. Come on, man. And higher wares can, oh God. Oh Jesus, higher wares look so bad. God. Don't do this. Put a little bit more thought into your work, people. Pay attention to the game that you're making items for. Make sure that it looks like it would belong in the game once it's put in there. On its own, much like Neon-Ween or what have you, on its own, if it was like on a fucking Lisa Frank notebook, then yeah, that would be fine. This, however, does not fit in the game. Don't make shit like this. Bad and sad, no. D tier. Not like E tier. D, E tier. Same tier as fucking Neon-Ween. Me no likey. Bad. Stop it. Why did you make it purple and green? Last but not least, we have the elite grade, and that's Misfortunate. You know what's unfortunate about this one is that this is another one of those Warpaints where a lot of effort went into its creation, but it was given an incorrect rarity slot. So this one isn't gonna get the appreciation it deserves because it was given the elite grade. And when you think elite grade in TF2 at this point, you either think hideously wacky, disgusting hat like towering pillar of random shit, or you think of gaudy, flashy, in-your-face war paint with bright colors that have no business being in the game. But it's like, I guess Valve thought this time, maybe we'll put something that fits in the game and is like super high quality and high effort into the elite grade. I guess is what they were thinking. I don't know, because this fits that category, but no one likes it because it's not like neon purple and green and in your face. So this has ended up being one of the cheapest elite grade war paints, but it's one of the highest quality war paints that we've ever received in the game. It's a weird conundrum where people don't like it, but it's super high quality. I like it for that reason. You can tell a lot of work went into this one. You have a lot of very nice, well-detailed textures, and they paid attention to the color scheme because they were trying to match like the Carnival of Carnage feel with this one. They're trying to make like, you know, like the game booth that Marasmus is in, or perhaps like the circus tent or what have you. It just looks like it belongs, and it looks really clean. It's good. It's interesting about this one is like it has some limit of orientation lock where the stripes only like you have some slant on it, but it never gets like perfectly horizontal, which I find strange. But man, this one is just you have like these neat little neon kind of ghoulish splatters, and also this one has custom wear where you can see like at higher wear it's like you have like this charring of the wood where it looks more beat up, and also I think this has custom blood splatters as well. Yeah, see, it has like this green custom blood, which is really fucking cool. So this one not only has a custom sticker, which is something else that's new by the way, it has a custom sticker which is something that we hadn't seen since 2017. So like if you put it on say the scattergun, see, custom sticker. It's also got like the rare yellow variant, haha ducks. But what's nice about this sticker is that it was like drawn in the style of TF2. It's got that grit. It's got that grit you would expect to see from a TF2 item, unlike a lot of other sticker things that have been put in this game. You have the custom sticker, something we have not seen since 2017. We have a custom wear, something we have not seen since 2017. All on one war paint, and that is just so fucking cool to see. The amount of work that went into this one, the amount of effort that went into this one, I give this guy like a fucking 10 out of 10, A for effort. You did an amazing job, but it got put as the elite grade, so people are not going to like it, and people do not praise it as much as it should be. I have some friends that actually like this one and want to get it in like lower wears because the custom wear on this one actually looks really cool. The green blood really sells it to me. That's fucking cool. Custom blood, custom stickers, custom wears, all in one war paint. Thank you for these neat little details, guy who made this. The past couple years of war paints have been pretty fucking bad, but we got a few decent ones in this case, and that makes me really happy. Kiln and Conquer, Necromanced, Polter-Guised, Swashbuckled, and Misfortunate are all pretty good. The best ones are definitely Swashbuckled and Kiln and Conquer. Fucking Searing Souls, Skull Cracked, Neon-Ween, fucking Potent Poison, god. It's kind of strange how Sarsaparilla Sprayed kind of stands out on its own as its own neat little special thing because it's a very old war paint. Sarsaparilla Sprayed is very old. I think it was, what was it again? It was 2017. It was added just after the Jungle Inferno update. So this one definitely shows its age. It's neat because effort went into this. They like paid attention to the game they were making it for and put it in like the proper style. So thumbs up to you, guy. Good shit.